When pursuing evidence-based medicine, it is important to use the best possible evidence to make decisions to improve patient care. Since some information is better than others, we seek to understand how good our evidence is so we know how useful the information we're gleaning from it is. There are many ways to level and divide evidence. We are going to begin by looking at unfiltered information and filtered information. Unfiltered information is primary research that has not been analyzed or further investigated by any additional professionals after the peer review process. An example of unfiltered information would be a randomized controlled trial. The trial is conducted, then the article written up, it goes through peer review, and then is published into the world. Later, this same randomized control trial may end up in filtered information if it's added to something like a systematic review or it undergoes an additional appraisal or analysis. Once the article is included in an additional analysis, it's considered filtered information. Unfiltered information comes in multiple forms, specifically background information or expert opinions, case studies or reports, cohort studies, or randomized controlled trials. Let's start at the bottom of the evidence pyramid, where unfiltered information lives. At the very bottom is expert opinion. According to Ponce et al., 2017, many guidelines use the term expert opinion in recommendations when evidence is considered to be insufficient. Guidelines that use the term expert opinion are often viewed as less rigorous. It's unclear what expert opinion means. Many guidelines that use the term expert opinion did not provide a rationale. Expert opinion recommendations often contained evidence of various types and were more often used to describe indirect evidence. From that definition, we can see why that type of evidence is seen as less reliable than other forms with more concrete support. The National Library of Medicine defines case reports or case studies as clinical presentations that may be followed by evaluative studies that eventually lead to a diagnosis. Often, case reports or case studies only review a few instances of the clinical presentation they are studying. Sometimes it's only one instance. Again, because of this, we can see why this is viewed as less useful than articles which look more broadly. Moving up the pyramid, we begin to see study types that review more study subjects for a longer period of time with more specific evidence. According to Barrett and Noble, 2019, cohort studies are a type of longitudinal study, an approach that follows research participants over a period of time, often many years. Specifically, cohort studies recruit and follow participants who share a common characteristic, such as a particular occupation or demographic similarity. During the period of follow-up, some of the cohort will be exposed to a specific risk factor or characteristic. By measuring outcomes over a period of time, it is then possible to explore the impact of this variable. For example, identifying the link between smoking and lung cancer in the British Doctors' Society. Cohort studies are, therefore, of particular value in epidemiology, helping to build an understanding of what factors increase or decrease the likelihood of developing disease. At the very top of the unfiltered information section of the evidence pyramid is randomized controlled trials. According to the National Library of Medicine, randomized controlled trials are a work that reports on a clinical trial that involves at least one test treatment and one control treatment, concurrent enrollment and follow-up of the test and control treated groups, and in which the treatment to be administered are selected by a random process, such as the use of a random numbers table. When looking for unfiltered information like randomized control trials, cohort studies, case studies and case reports, or expert opinions, it's best to look in databases like PubMed or CINAHL. We'll look at how to search in those databases in later videos. Thanks for watching!